Hello, welcome to Consumed.
Pomegranate.
Hello, Pomegranate, what's up?
I don't know why I thought to just grab that as soon as we went live, but I needed it.
Clearly
So consumed is
very
a game
important.
about cooking and
Pomegranates.
eating lots of food. So
I
Yes.
mean, one, a cooking challenge would be apropos.
Mhm.
Two, then we could pull in uh, the verb of consumed and the triple meta level of
We need to
verbs.
put consume in a question. Who's going to get
Mmm.
consumed? And then we can pull it
yes,
to a show, like
Mmm.
to a title of the show.
I
Mm.
see, I see. So thinking about titles of shows and putting names on things and questions on the board, we should talk about how how does this game fucking work, please? Lavender, educate us. This whole series is about what do we do? What are we
Yep.
doing? How does game?
I didn't change anything all that much. I mostly just like changed what words were since last time. So we need to pick which calibration phase that we're going to do, and I personally am going to veto the idea of doing two of them in a row because I want to do more reality show.
Okay,
Fair.
I like that plan. Can
Hmm.
you review what all of the different phases are,
Sure.
so we can better choose which one to do?
Hmm. Kelsa is the channel. When you calibrate the channel, you make new characters and neighborhoods. Astani is the flash. When you calibrate the flash, you get rid of stuff that you don't want to see in the show and you ask questions. In Golden's phase, Golden is the resolution. When you calibrate the resolution, you do a recap. And I am the lens.
You answer questions also, and you name the show.
Yes. That's the way that you recap. Um, in my phase, the lens, we take a closer look at the relationships between the neighborhoods and the stars, and we get little aspects to put on all of them. Yep, I want to do Golden's because I feel like the recap is just the mainstay, and I think our neighborhoods are pretty full of aspects. They're not like running over with them or anything, but I feel like we have enough.
Okay, that sounds pretty reasonable to me. Does everyone concur?
I don't have a preference, so yeah, we can do Goldens.
There we go.
Okay,
Done and done. We're doing Goldens.
alrighty.
You're
Oh,
muted,
you are
Golden.
muted.
You're muted
That
in
face of
Zoom.
like, am I really?
You're muted in Zoom.
It's too.
there we go.
There you
I
go.
was only
Saw you
muted in
doing
one
it.
place, but it took a while to figure out which one.
Mm.
Okay, yeah, I guess I have to ask questions then. Yes. Well, I think yeah, Adam, this question definitely came up. What do they want you to put in the cage? Oh, I had asked two questions, right?
Yes, that's right.
Oh yeah.
So think of something to pair with it.
Ah. Oh.
I'm trying to figure out where the camera is so I can, or where the question is so I can show it on camera, but I'm not having any luck finding it.
Okay, I'll help you find it, and I'll try to ping it.
Ah,
All right, yeah. Who
there
is?
it is.
I was gonna say her name because I think she exists again. Who is Trinity with when she views a pale purple sky?
Oh, and they're both right here. Okay.
Okay, Trinity is in the planet of death, and it is a very dark planet. But I imagine, since with that stone mask she's wearing, she might be still viewing a pale purple sky that hasn't really been made clear. But what is clear is that one of our neighborhood's small step has been putting people in cages for a long time, and we, being kind of like plucky and roguey and social justice, we protested the cages. One of the ways that we protested the cages was by putting ourselves in the cages and locking ourselves in, and then that was how we got to the planet of death. Through
Isn't
the
it-
dance hall of oblivion, which is in the mosque that's in the incinerator, which is surrounded
On the
by
log of
Right.
the frog at the
chorus.
bottom of the sea. Yeah.
I was gonna say the dance hall of death, but no, you're correct. It's the dance hall of oblivion. Yes.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yep, that's my recap.
All right, I believe you answered the questions.
Okay, I'll put those kind of in the middle. Next to
Which maybe should be changed back to Trinity? It's confusing. Who knows?
yeah, I don't
I mean,
know.
I burned her.
Yeah, but also. Okay, nope, you burned her.
It's not Trinity. It's
Nope.
something else. It is something else.
It's something else. Okay, no, you know what? That's fair.
It's something else with her name, though?
Yeah.
Her name and her shape, but it's not her.
No longer. She never existed. So I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Oh, good. Don't find out.
Oh, and I actually need to get on Kelsa's Twitch.
It could be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can say hello to chat,
Yeah,
Yes.
as one does.
That's
Mhm.
what it does.
I'm going to be
Collect
playing
those
that
sweet
again,
channel
too.
points.
Yep. I love
Yay.
channel points. They're so fun.
They are very fun.
I need to
love
actually.
modifying the emotes are so fun.
I
Mhm.
need to add some actual things that are not just modifying emotes.
Mhm.
They're hard to think of. If you get good ideas, let me know. 'Cause
I
can't
want to
think of
put the
anything.
reindeer hat on the Devil's Bargain.
Yes.
That would be cute. Does it line up? No.
Yeah, like you can actually see what it looks like,
Yeah.
even if you don't have the points.
Oh my gosh, that's perfect.
I know, right?
Also, the little Santa hat is really good on it.
Well, you did the
It's
Santa
this-
hat already, right?
Golden did, yeah.
Yeah, I did the Santa hat already, but I don't have it anymore.
You only
Mm.
get
I don't have enough points.
You gotta
It's only for
fix
one
that.
day.
You gotta fix that. Gotta get more points.
Yeah,
We
stream
gotta
more than
stream
Kelsa.
more.
I'm working on it, okay? I'm working on it.
You got to run the intro longer so we can get more points. Like maybe an hour of intro video. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So Golden, you get to pick who gets to recap next, and give them
Okay.
questions.
Uh,
Oh my god, that is really good.
So good.
I know.
it's so good. Oh my gosh, you cheated because you have infinite points.
I do have
Yes.
infinite points. I did cheat. That is true.
I mean, you didn't
Can
really
you
cheat.
put
It's
the
your own
hat
chance.
and the reindeer
You
antlers at
cannot-
the same
No,
time?
you
No.
cannot, unfortunately.
No.
Gosh, that's just very disappointing. Can
No.
you modify a modified emo?
No, it does not give you that option.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer
Twitch.
had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you had to go.
Oh man.
All right, so we should continue with the
Yes, we
recaps
should
of what has
calibrate.
happened.
The whole
No, I'm
point
looking for
of doing one
questions.
calibration was to get more.
Were those the questions? Were those the questions about the emote, and I have answered them? Where do I put my dot?
Yes, where do you put the dot?
Outside of a circle because they don't exist on the
Yeah.
game board?
I was gonna be
Correct.
like, somewhere like I put my dot in chat. Is that what's going on?
I guess so. Yeah.
It's gonna
That's
have to
very
just
meta.
be
You
a
put
purple
the,
heart.
That's
it's
a
fine.
horrible idea.
You put the emotes on
I hate it.
Oblivion.
I did
Please.
dot for you, Kelsa.
Recap
Gotta
for
be
real.
a circular emote somewhere. Oh, there's like a
Oh,
little
man.
yay. Yeah, you could do that. There's your dot.
All right, Kelsa.
Mm-hmm.
How many lives has June ruined?
Mm.
And what does June think about loss?
What does June think about loss, and how many lives has June ruined? Those circles don't overlap.
Or do they?
Uh, where they would overlap is colored in the dun color. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no. Let's see. What the F has happened with June? June doesn't think about loss anymore. She never had a tragic loss of her sweet, precious dog. And has never had to confront how many lives she's ruined, because honestly, it's a lot of lives that she has ruined. Never maliciously, but definitely on purpose from time to time.
Figure out how that works.
Maliciously, it would imply that she's just ruining their lives to ruin their lives, and see, she only ruins people's lives when it benefits her in some other way than just, joy at their
So
pain.
it's like pragmatically.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
The pragmatic ruining of other people's lives.
And occasionally accidentally.
But never maliciously.
Never maliciously.
Uh-huh.
All right, Astani. Kelsey, you have answered the questions.
And I put a dot in either circle then?
Yep.
Okay. Let's dot
Stany.
this up.
Yeah, what up?
Who has tasked Brian with control of the mosque's incinerator? And who or what is controlling the radio frequencies?
Unfortunately, I feel like a lot of that information is not from last episode. So I'm just gonna
It
start
doesn't have to be from last episode.
Okay.
Well, at least the incinerator was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, technically this has to go like over here, because it has to be in the June circle, but not in this Who is of the Past circle.
Instead of the radio frequencies, tell me, are the lights strobing? Because that definitely was.
I don't think I can answer one of these questions, but that's okay.
We finally stumped Astani.
Well, I don't think I can answer this question because I don't know who's tasked Brian with control of the mosque. Or at least we didn't see that last episode.
But we did.
I don't think it was last episode.
Definitely did. I remember what it was.
I mean, I know it was the cat girl. It was Sebastian. The cute cat girl, but I thought that was 2 episodes ago.
I mean, you can recap 2 episodes ago.
It had to have been.
It was definitely last episode.
Counts.
But I don't think it has to be from last episode.
Okay, well, I don't find that an interesting question to answer, so I'm going to ignore that. Anyway.
Okay.
That's one way to do it.
Sebastian's like, meow.
So we see people climbing into cages and being taken towards the incinerator. We see the incinerator opening and people falling inside into this void space of nothing and everything. We see bits and pieces of a very somber, sober dance party. We see Kaylee jumping on the little light up dance floor, and each time she steps on each tile, it lights up and then dims. We see her holding hands with someone and falling through the floor. and falling and falling and falling until they reach the planet of death. We see her weep, embrace her family, and turn into dust.
Well, since you refused to answer one of the questions, I'm going to say you did not answer the questions.
Either one, that's fine. I did talk about lights, but that's okay.
But
I like that you just are like, that's boring. I'm going to recap something else. Bye.
Oh, it's really good. This is how you control the canon of the game.
I'll just put a dot somewhere. It's fine.
Yeah. It's...
yes.
Golden, ask yourself 2 questions and recap.
All right. What burns in Kaylee's heart? And how do Barb and Bleep get lost? So we saw what's in Kaylee's heart. And it burns with love for her family. Who burned. And that is why her heart is charred mess. But now a part of her heart has been I guess if we're not well, I think her children were legitimately transported out and didn't burn.
Yeah, that was part of a thing, right?
That was part of a thing.
One of them little flashback doohickeys.
Yep.
So I guess part of her heart bleeds once again. And how did the Zalgos get lost? Well, I think the masks are scattering them. Like whatever part of their spirit remained is being overwritten in this reality by the masks. And pretty soon we'll think the masks were always them. Because it'd be so hard to tell the difference. But the masks, I think the masks came from the volcano. I think I remember, who was it that took the masks? I remember Staney did it, but I think it's Ferdinand. Is that right?
It is now.
I mean, all I was going to say is, who do you think can survive chilling out in the magma of a volcano?
Oh, what?
That sounds like a hint.
It is a hint, but I'm not.
It was probably Kaylee, but yeah. All right. So I'm going to say I answered the questions, and I will put a dot. Where should I put the dot? It has to be somewhere.
Well, you can't do it in the lost one because that's been filled in.
Circle.
So it's got to be the other one.
I think the only place I can put it is probably up here. And then I named the episode, right?
Yes. If you don't want to ask anybody any more questions and you feel like we recapped enough, then yep,
Yeah.
just name of the episode.
I'm going to take the word from many places. The name of this episode is Zalgo.
Can you spell that for me?
Zalgo.
Zalgo.
What's that mean?
That's the text, glitchy text.
It's the process of. It's a verb where you take text and then you Unicode it to death.
I see.
to break all the boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
That's highly appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
In digital typography, combining characters are characters that are intended to modify other characters. But if we ignore the typography part in there, characters modifying other characters and characters could be very fun to play with. As a verb, I'm just saying.
I concur.
So I'm going to start stealing all the Zalgo. I'm thinking of one big Zalgo.
Oh no. All right. How does characters go? How do we pick characters? Are we just the characters we were last time that we were playing? And
Because
if we
Golden was the last to calibrate, I'm pretty sure Golden plays the neighborhood, will set the scene and cast us.
thank
I
you.
don't have to say anything.
Thank you so much for remembering how this works because I sure as heck didn't.
Mm-hmm.
What neighborhood will you be playing, Golden, so I can update the thing before we head over to the reality show?
I guess I can't Zalgo if I'm going to be the neighborhood.
I mean,
Well,
I'm
I mean, you can
Zalgoing.
hand it off.
I will play.
Oh, and we can play any neighborhood except for Giant Sleep. Because Giant Sleep is currently in whatever these colors represent.
right.
Oh, I can't play Gardenia Heights. But I can
correct.
play. Can't play Small Step.
I'm into that.
All right. So I click that button.
Yep.
And then where does the scene take place?
And my display name is already erased to put in something new.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I guess I should do that too. So Small Step now has a volcano in it. So I think what we see
The
is
volcano was in Black Bluff.
it moved.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's in Small Step, and as the volcano is growing, Small Step is becoming a mountaintop town. Like if you imagine, it's on the side of the volcano as the volcano starts to grow upwards.
Oh,
That's right.
okay.
We marched with the volcano into Small Step as part of our activism.
I think I missed that part,
against
but
the
I'm
tyranny
down
of
I
for
definitely
it.
missed that too, and yeah.
I definitely remember that happening.
The
And
magic
then,
of this game.
because Small Step is next to Giant Sleep, I imagine like the volcano is also like eating away pieces of Giant Sleep. Like we see like the road splinter, and like there are different
clearly,
buildings.
That's what happened to Giant Sleep because if you look to get from Black Bluff to Giant Sleep, you just gotta go straight from Black Bluff to Small Step. You just gotta go right through Giant Sleep, and then look what got eaten by whatever this green color is.
I mean, you say that, but also causality don't real.
That's fair. Causality don't real.
I'm just saying, like it's correlated that there are now.
We have to burn.
There are now
causality,
pieces of Giant
continuity,
Sleep.
and correlation.
Yes.
And yeah. So if you imagine like part of Giant's Leap now looks like San Francisco times 10.
Okay. I can picture this.
It's like instead of it being on the little hill with all those houses, it's now on the side of the big hill that overlooks the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now I pick who plays who. I will play. I choose Adam. You will play Kaylee.
Oh.
I will say, Kelsa, you should play Brian. And Stanley, you should play June.
Okay.
All right. So the
Yeah.
only person who changed since last time is Estani. Let's see. Where's my character sheet here?
And the client's
Change
judges
this to the
first.
channel.
Okay.
We need to be challenged.
Yes, give us our challenge. Ask.
Okay.
Tell us more about the location where exactly we are in Small Step around
Yes.
this-
Right.
San Francisco volcano neighborhood.
Yeah. Well, I think it is a cooking challenge.
I'm so
But
excited.
you have to catch fish that live in the caldera of the volcano.
So
Okay.
so first we have to
That's-
catch the fish, and then we have to cook
That's
the fish.
the main ingredient. Yes.
Okay. Do we get the rest of our ingredients, or do we have to like forage and catch those too?
Yeah, you can forage, but it can be, whatever else you want.
Can I forage over at Trader Joe's? No, wait, I'm not June. Sorry.
I'm gonna say June is obviously hiring people to both fish this caldera for her and also to bring her the rest of the ingredients.
I'm gonna go ahead and switch us over to the reality show as we are now. It is now upon us.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, lurkers, where are you hiding in this scene? Are you hiding in the caldera? Are you in the audience for the cooking show?
Who's my spatula? Just come out and tell me right now.
Or are you edible?
That's an
If we
awkward
could-
question.
If we consume an O, what happens?
I have no
They
idea.
get to tell us, I think.
I feel like
It-
that makes sense.
Interesting questions.
All right.
All right. Does anybody have any clue what was going on?
No.
Sure.
Sort of.
Yeah, why not?
All right. That's all. It was good. It's time to start then. On the count of 3, you'll click on the shot you want to do.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Oh,
Maybe I
they're
should change my
All
name.
different.
different shots.
I have a drama shot, a confessional, and an action shot.
Hmm. I want to do the action shot
Don't we go in order?
first.
Yeah, we start with the one at the top, and then.
Oh, I thought I chose.
No, it's
Oh,
in
yeah,
order.
you're right. This next one.
Drama.
All right, drama shots.
Mhm.
You can tell trouble's about to start.
Okay, answer some of the questions below. La 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 la. What old problems do you stir up? What trite quips and slights do you exchange? What kind of look is on your face? Or answer a question from chat. I can't see chat right now, so somebody else shout at me if you see the question that looks interesting. So I think we see like a helicopter shot over the Kandala where there's like a lake in it, and on one far side is like where the stage is set up with like all of our little cooking stations and like a tiered area for an audience and like a judge's table, and there's like people milling around behind the judge's table, and you can see on the shore each of the contestants lined up for their fishing, right? And let's see, what kind of things do I even have here? So Brian has some old, or some not old, blue building lights that he's going to use as like a bait, and at the same time, he is trying to make sure that Ferdinand, who is not represented by a player but is here, I'm assuming, is not going to copy his idea, and is not going to like use one of his billboard clothing pieces to do the same thing. So he's going to go around to the judges and basically try to convince them that Ferdinand's clothing is scaring the fish. And so what judge is there for him to go up to?
Yeah.
Look at the stable, and there's a list of so many of them, many of which we haven't seen before. I would like to see some of them.
Yeah. I think it's Josephine. Josephine is, I don't know if she's been described.
She's described as very attractive, terminally ill, and
Yeah.
from the hottest.
I mean, I know she's dying to eat whatever you're gonna cook.
Wow.
You're fired? Continue.
That's okay. Fire's not real.
Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay.
And I think she's just like really standing really close to Brian, and like she's just
Look, I don't
badgering him so much.
I don't want to cause any trouble, but I mean, Ferdinand is going to he's going to scare off all of the fish, and then none of us are going to get any, and everybody's going to lose. That's not a fair way to run a competition.
What do you want me to do?
I don't like to rock the boat or anything, but a boat. Give me a boat. And get out in the middle of the lake. I'll be away from him and his cheatery.
Boat.
That's fair, right? Amicable? Come on, we've only got a little bit of time to catch these fish.
I can get you a boat.
Yeah.
So Josephine gets on her cell phone and she makes a call. You know, there's not really any like fishing boats that will last in the lava, but you know, a spaceship's kind of a boat. She ends up getting one that looks like Jabba the Hutt's barge.
Yes.
And it just kind of like skims over the molten sea.
Perfect.
There's like, you know, sounds of a party going on this party barge.
That is the perfect thing to entice fish. And then how do I have, when we got our characters, we should have added one to each of our cuts.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me. I actually.
So do they reset to one, or do we add
this.
one to each of them? That's
Add one.
okay. What do my cuts do? Hold on.
I've been looking at mine, and I would have cut, but I can't.
Oh yeah.
Nothing's coming up for me.
Okay, well, my cut is when there's dead air for too long. So I think like we get the scene of uh Brian going off on the party boat and is like, woo! And then it just like fades in the distance. And as it like fades into the distance over the canale, we like the heat waves coming up from the lava like obscure the boat, and then they like um obscure the entire scene, and then they like start to resolve again into our next scene, which is an action shot.
Cool.
Cool.
I see you hit a button, Golden. Did you need to do a thing, or are we going?
I don't think Kelsa mentioned any memories. I really don't know what buttons do when I press them. But I assume that the barge is like shooting off like camera drones all around the surface of the lake as it floats over it into the center.
That's right, because the memories for Small Step are like rain and rainbows, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, rainbows to
That
fresh
no
rain
longer
in the
feels
metal cage.
accurate, but sure,
Mhm.
okay.
that's why they're memories.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
it's
we
very
could have
true.
lava rain.
That's
But
I didn't mention that, but
Kelso
hey,
would
it's your
have had
turn.
to mention it. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So now I'm doing my action shot. So let me scroll back up so I remember what that is. Think I'm up to the challenge. Choose one, some, or all the questions below. Stare directly at your webcam. Show us your answers. How do the close-ups and fast shots capture your skill? That's gonna be fun. Um, what personal goal are you really pleased to have achieved? How do you handle being watched under pressure? Or a question from chat.
We don't have any yet. I'm waiting for you to look directly at the screen so that I can give you something.
Okay, well, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so we fade in on June. She's at her little preparation area where she's supposed to be doing the cooking, and of course she's on her phone. She's like side eyeing everybody else doing the fishing, like these amateurs, right? And she's on the phone. She's like, "All right, so I'm going to need um at least three of your best fishermen. They need to get to the caldera right away now. Yes, I'll pay extra. Just get them here now. I'm going to need a whole catering team. Yes, you're going to need to bring the ingredients for a gourmet meal. Well, it has to go with the caldera fish. Yes. No, no, I need it now. 20 minutes. And she hangs up and she's just like sitting there. She's like drumming her fingers on her arm while she's waiting. She's not going to go bother fishing herself or cooking. So we just kind of get a very long shot of her sitting there waiting for her team to arrive, and then the fast shots are literally of her like barking orders at them as they're fishing or telling them what she wants prepared, and they're like doing all the cooking for her and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's really just June not bothering to lift a finger and telling everybody else what to do. So really it is highlighting her skills quite well. um
Amazing.
So I think we see the fishermen come back. They have like nets that are like these metal nets that have really high melting point, so they can trawl these nets through the caldera without them melting to the magma. And like maybe they're made from like some sort of like space metal, so it's like nothing you could find here on Earth. And they have several fish, and then she's telling them how she wants the fish prepared, and they're like getting all the scales off and deboning them and like just making this beautiful gourmet meal. And I think she manages to present the meal to the judges before anybody else has the opportunity, because she literally has a whole team doing this for her.
Yeah. Um. I think like your net like catches crabs. Like they're just getting like the stuff close to the shore because that's the easiest. So they get a whole bunch of like lava crabs,
Nice.
and hmm, yeah, like you make like appetizers, and all the judges are snacking on it while they wait for everyone else. Um, I'm supposed to draw a line.
So our verbs are Zalgo from the episode, Obfuscate, Rejuvenate, and
Side
then
eye,
yep.
which definitely came up.
There's
Definitely
some
side-eyed.
side eye going on.
I'm trying as a side of Zelgold.
um, one could argue that I rejuvenated these crabs into a delicious meal.
They're definitely
Or
more
I've rejuvenated
rejuvenating now.
the judges with a delicious gourmet meal. There we go.
Did you obfuscate who was preparing this meal?
I mean, June took full credit, so yes.
Okay, I like that. All right, so this gets to cross 3 lines.
And if it crosses one of their dots, you can join them in the shot as a client or a judge.
Wow. I don't understand what that sentence means.
Okay. So you can join, you can like talk to them as a client or a judge, and like they could have a conversation with Josephine or Jolene or Arwen. If you make a line that crosses one of their dots, like it goes through a number of lines, I think you're getting that part. But if it also goes through a dot that's in their color, then you can hop in the scene as a judge or a client. Does that make sense?
I might just be really tired. I only got like 3 hours of sleep last night.
Goodness.
Okay. I'm just gonna draw this line, and I'm gonna say that I think Josephine is eating most of the food. I think most of the other judges are not from the stable. They're just random people from Small Step. So they're like not like they're going to give their reactions to the different foods, but they don't really get to decide who wins. Like the judge would be like deciding, oh, all the people like they're gonna try and like take the consensus of the food eaters.
Okay.
I think among the people who are eating the food, I think Sebastian has snuck in because Sebastian wants to see what Brian is doing now that they've left the incinerator. So Sebastian is eating the crab legs and asks. It's going to ask June. So June, where are your kids? Why don't you have family?
Well, that's a rude question to ask.
family here, I should say.
She just kind of scoffs and rolls her eyes. I have my dog. I don't need anything other than my dog. I love my dog.
Don't you want a family?
My dog is my family. You're being really rude.
She seems happy that she's being rude. Well, I think a dog isn't enough. What would happen if you lost your dog? You wouldn't have anything.
I think she just kind of glares at Sebastian. Like, how dare you? And then I think we see her getting out her phone, and she starts calling up the head office. Yes, I need to put in a complaint with one of your judges. And she just kind of walks away.
All right, cool. I'm gonna try and draw this line here.
Man, the amount of times I've been asked that question, why don't you have any kids? And I'm just like,
Yep. Mhm.
as if that's all I'm good for.
I feel that pain.
Oh, I hate it. I
Same.
hate that question so much.
Yeah.
None of your damn business. Get out.
I might cut this scene.
Go for it.
I think when the description becomes blurry and vague, because we're concentrating more on the fact that June's leaving the scene more than like describing stuff that's going on, I think this makes sense. The cuts have changed how they work slightly. Nothing's been replaced, but there has been a thing that's been added at the end. So just like before, I can spend one and answer, what does the camera focus in on before we cut to the next shot? And I'm going to say that now. And then there's a thing that I can do after it. I think it's just blurring out to nighttime. And with the blurriness and the darkness, we fade to the darkness under the water and the light coming back as a beacon under this water. What's that beacon of? I'm cutting to my shot next, but before I do that, I want to revisit this in the season finale, so I'm going to spend 2 instead of 1, and then I'm going to put that question on the unreeling page where the season finale is. So if you click on the unreeling, there's some of the calibration rolls can put things in the season finale box. I'm going to put...
Is that new?
Yes, that is new. This is the new part. I'm going to put... what is the beacon in the dark ocean? In a question on Kaylee's page. And then it would just cut...
sheets?
Yep. You switch over to the unreeling, and then there's a little season finale page.
I see it now.
Where you can write stuff down. I'm going to go back to the reality show because it's my turn to do my confessional. The beacon under the water is Kaylee. She is burning with light in the water because she is still in the cage that she was in the last episode, and she is being used as bait to catch the caldera fish. And through like burbling underwater talk, she says, I am happy to be here under this water to be used as bait to catch these mysterious fish. I'm sure that as I look around here, I'm going to find one of these fish eventually. It's cold down here under this water. I miss magma. I miss being in magma, under magma. Hot tubs really don't do it for me. They honestly feel kind of cold, if I'm being perfectly honest. Ooh, is that a fish? Yes, yes, it is. And then she reaches through the bars of the dark chamber and she pulls in one of these fish and starts seeing more and more of them as the light of her body begins to attract these fish. And she starts pulling and collecting them, and the fish are trying to escape and swim out of her arms. But she's doing a good job of wrangling and keeping these fish together. And I'm hearing beeps.
Yeah, I think the fish you grabbed is like the lure of a bigger fish. If you've seen like the fish in the deep, the fang fish.
Mm-hmm.
And we see like the lantern fish like swim into magma closer to you. And you can see like the thing you're grabbing onto is its tongue. Um and Kaylee starts to, I think, she's so much hotter than the rest of the magma around her that it starts to calcify on her body like a cocoon. And the lanternfish swallows Kaylee whole.
Oh, at least it doesn't feel so cold. And she is in the belly of the fish looking at the calcified magma on her wrists and elbows and starts folding her arms in the cage. I just want to be somewhere where it's not cold.
Yeah, I think as Kaylee says this, um, she attaches to the roof of the lanternfish, and when she does so, the lava like calcifies her even faster, and the cocoon um, basically turns her into like a polyp or a medusa growing out of the anglerfish.
Okay, I am going to put on. I'm going to look up at the magma coming in, and I put on Trinity's black glass mask so that I can give myself a place to breathe and a place to escape once I'm fully cocooned in the magma. And the magma envelops me, and I am going to cut there by saying that I'm breathing life into my styles.
Sure, I'm going to give you a glamorous accessory of magma medusa hair.
I like this. Actually, it's more appropriate that I'm expressing a melting dance cage than Trinity's carbon black face. But yeah. Magma Medusa hair.
Magma Medusa hair.
Perfect. I guess you've merged with your cage is the cocoon that now has become a part of you.
I guess it makes sense. If anything, it's like a part of it, if not for anything else. So then I answer, I can't spend 2 because that was my last one. And what hides in the blur of this shot and the next?
You're pinned at it with a metal cage.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was imagining.
All
I
right.
think the glass of the camera is getting fogged over by all of this evaporating water and all of this heat. And um, in the next scene, the camera is fogged over with heat from like a grill or a stove, and um, the camera person wipes off the lens, and we see what's being cooked as we cut over to the action shot.
I mean, I'm done.
Yep.
So it keeps repeating until the time and location has changed.
Yep.
What you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Where did you said the anglerfish was taking you somewhere? The lanternfish, didn't you?
I didn't specify that it was taking me anywhere.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Hmm.
I could just have June leave in my action shot,
okay.
and then that'll
Yeah.
Yep.
change this.
Mhm.
So I think we just see June have a really heated argument on her phone with the head office, and then she gets into a car, like a town car, and like leaves the set, like leaves the shooting location.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like you're gonna go talk with management or something.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm sure this is not the first time they've had words.
Mm-hmm.
I see. So I was right. I didn't feel like I could change the scene myself, a location.
Yep.
So then I would just become the neighborhood again.
Yep.
I guess I could become the neighborhood again, and then I would. Okay. Astana, you did not specify a neighborhood.
Well, the head office is clearly up in Galaxy Peak. They had to move there from Giant Sleep once that got destroyed by volcano.
It's true.
All right. All right, then
So
how
I'll
each
close
player
out.
counts how many questions from chat they answered.
So the one question that I had was, who has the keen eye you need to find my undulating school of fish?
I didn't answer that one.
I was trying to answer it by having Kaylee be the lure under the water to find the fish, which I guess it's not a school of fish though. I found the real.
You found a big anglerfish.
Yes. I'm going to say that I did answer that, and I'm going to put that one in my frame edge. Just to have another cut there.
All right, I don't think I answered anything, unless you count my description of having my light to guide all of the fish to my fishing boat from the very beginning before you ask the question as answering the question.
I feel like that does too.
I mean, there's no causality, so you can definitely answer a question before it's even been asked.
Fantastic.
Yep.
I'll give myself another frame edge as well because I realized that I had the option to spend 2 to put an object into the unreeling, and that sounds pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely didn't, and even if I did, I wouldn't have a sheet to put anything on, so it's fine.
Okay, so if you're now Small Step, who are we?
No, I'm
Galaxy
Peak.
Peak.
I mean, Galaxy Peak. Sorry.
Let me change my name. It's fine. I didn't do it.
I knew it was Galaxy Peak. I changed it on the thing, but then I looked at the thing and then I saw.
It's fine. I got it.
Yay.
Kelsa, you gotta bring some June realness.
Okay. I'm on it.
Am I allowed to ask you guys who you would like to be?
Yeah, that sounds fine.
My prop says to open an unused star sheet.
Yeah.
Does that mean I pick who I play?
theoretically.
Oh, this might be left over from the old rules where you kind of segued into being the next person.
So let's
And
just
then,
ignore that part
yeah,
because it's very confusing.
just get recast.
Yeah.
Fine with
Okay.
me.
Is there someone that you would like to be Golden?
Um, Not particularly. I feel like I could play anybody right now.
Um, I feel like we've had a lot of Brian and Kaylee lately, so I'm gonna avoid them.
Okay.
Which means that we're gonna have Troy and Ferdinand, so now I just gotta figure out who's who. Lavender, I haven't seen you play Troy yet, I don't think. So why don't you try
No,
Troy?
I kind of want to be Troy.
Okay, cool. And then Golden, you'll be Ferdinand.
Okay.
Let me click my starting thing. So this scene is taking place at the head office. We all know why June is there. Actually, I think you all are here because you all have issues with your contracts currently. And so maybe June arrives and Ferdinand and Troy are already there waiting to speak with the people in charge.
That's really cool.
So I guess your challenge here is to try to get improvements to your contracts that you want, or to try to get the judges to side with you on some matter.
Okay.
So it's possible that, I mean, obviously this isn't like a reality show challenge, but I feel like it's an interesting way to kind of give you guys some direction. So you're obviously not
This feels
competing
like a very
against
reality star challenge. It's just not the one that you usually see on TV.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you're not really competing against each other. All of you could potentially succeed. All of you could fail.
hmm
Um, you guys have any questions about the scene?
That is a good thing to ask. I that's one of those things where it's like, oh, they just did that. That should be in the rules. I, because I feel like sometimes the challenge gets thrown out, and then it's just like, okay, I have most of an idea of what's going on, but asking if anybody has any questions is a really good idea. Um, can we discuss this in the dark chamber? Because I feel like that's an appropriate place for management to be, because they're not really supposed to be in the reality show per se.
If you want to do a confessional during this scene, I think that that's valid.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look at the rules for confessional just to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, technically, it doesn't say that I'm allowed to join you in the confessional, so I don't know. But if you're fine with it, I'm fine with it.
Yep.
Does anyone else have any questions? If not, it sounds like everyone feels pretty good. Go ahead and decide which action or whatever it is that you'd like to take.
I got mine.
Hold on, I gotta change myself.
Okay.
It also sounds like Lavender's doing confessional. It'd be hilarious if you were all doing confessionals and you're all just crammed into this dark chamber. There's like one stool and you're like sitting on each other's laps. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I really like that idea.
Do whatever you want.
Yes.
Hold on. I need to finish updating everybody's name because I got distracted.
Yep.
Golden is now Ferdinand?
Yes.
Yes.
And Lavender is Troy, and you're June, and I'm Galaxy Peak.
I fixed Lavender already. Okay. Almost done. Here we go. Okay. Doop. Okay. Fixed everything.
Okay.
Okay, I got it.
Are you ready, Golden? Okay.
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Ooh, okay.
Very good.
I need
So
to
we're
quit being the one clicking the button first.
I used to be that, but here you're gonna be in one with Golden, so
Okay.
it's fine. You're sharing the shot.
Okay.
But also I've also been aware of that and like 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm just gonna wait and then I'll click.
Okay. Great. So, Ferdinand and June approach. I was gonna say the bench. Approach the judge's chamber. Tell
I am
me
not-
who is here. Which.
It's double doors,
Mm-hmm.
thick mahogany, um, embossed in the doors in silver. It just says the judges. There doesn't appear to be a door handle at all, but you know that if you go to open the doors, they'll open.
June just stomps right up to the door. Her high heels click clacking on the floor. And will just shove her way inside, regardless of if the door doesn't open automatically. She is going to open it anyway. She's just that stubborn.
I think
We're-
Ferdinand is marching right next to her. He's also pissed off that Brian tried to exclude his fishing powers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The inside of the room, I imagine there's like marble floors. There's like potted plants and pillars. It's like really fancy. And at the end of like this really long, I don't want to call it a hallway because it's not, because it's all one chamber, but like there's a very large entrance area that you have to walk up to before you get up to like the big oak desk. And there's like a whole bunch of chairs, like a panel of judges would normally be sitting there, but there's only one person sitting there right now, and it's Jolene.
Of course it's Jolene. Of course it's Jolene.
And she just kind of tilts her head and she says, "Can I help you?"
Yes, I believe you can. If anyone can, it would be you, I suppose. This whole thing is a farce.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? All of this. Everything. It's been absolutely horrendous. And for what?
June, I'm gonna need you to be more specific with your complaints.
And she just like scoffs and then side eyes.
I think it's very clear what June wants. Trying to act like you don't know what she means.
I mean, could you please interpret?
Can you even do anything about it?
I don't understand what she wants me to do.
You don't understand, do you? You're just disconnected from everything that happens.
I'm waiting for someone to explain to me what exactly they want me to do. All I hear is, "Oh, it's a farce." What does that even mean?
It's like you don't even know what's going on in your own show. And I'm trying to like cut away Jolene's connections to reality.
Okay.
Is that something you can do? Is that one of your powers?
I
I
can
mean,
cut.
Yes, it would be.
He he has cut as a verb.
No, that's true. You're right. You're very right. I'll just be quiet over here and side eye in peace.
So I feel like June is getting more and more isolated Like
And
every
Jolene.
time she is, yeah, Jolene is like every time Jolene tries to like ask what's going on, like the world becomes a little more deaf
Okay, sure.
until
So,
she can't see any exits to this room.
so we see a moment of Jolene trying to get you two to explain what specifically she can do to help, and
Yeah.
neither one of you are being helpful. You're
No.
just complaining and throwing out like very vague complaints at that. Like, oh, I don't like the show. Well, how can I fix it? Well, make it more likable. What does that mean? That kind of thing. And she gets so frustrated that she stands up, and as she does, the desk falls over. It's way too heavy. She couldn't have thrown it, but just topples over with a loud slam that kind of jars both of you back to I don't want to say back to reality because that's not what this is. It's like it's so alarmingly loud and unexpected that it gives you both like a moment of pause. And then she says, I can't deal with this right now. And she turns her back on you, and you two are gone. You're not there anymore.
Okay.
How do your nerves handle the pressure?
I'm like, great, now Jolene is stuck in her room and she can't get out. And she can't do anything outside the room. It
Maybe she
worked.
doesn't have to.
I mean, it's not like this game has any way to enforce anything I say or do.
No, that's true.
But I have said it.
Yeah. I think that I think June just feels like she's won. Like there's all this is going on, and she's like, "Ha, I did it." She didn't do squat, but she's gonna take credit for it.
Okay. So I gotta draw a line. There was a side eye. There was a cut. I think that's all that happened. There wasn't any Zalgoing. There wasn't any obfuscating. Actually, no, there was obfuscating. For sure. You were obfuscating reality. There wasn't any rejuvenating. So I'm going to draw a line, and it's going to cross 3 other lines.
Yeah, I really wanted to Zalgo my contract, but that's not where it went.
Someone's going to have to do a cut.
I'm on it. I'm cutting to my own shot.
Good, thank you.
The description has become blurry and vague. The camera focuses in on, because we're not sure where anybody is anymore. The oak desk is gone. We have nothing really for our eyes to, like, we have no focal point. So we just focus in on the darkness, and the darkness resolves into the darkness of the dark chamber. And we zoom out, and in one chair is Jolene, and in another chair is Troy. And I'm going to scroll up to my confessional prompts to read them and see what's happening. I kind of answered one of these already. Very good. Jolene,
Hello,
we
Troy.
share a common bond in that we've done this before, and I know this is really upsetting to you. And it's upsetting to me that it's to read all this on your face. It makes me sad. Is there anything I can help with?
I don't know what you mean.
I've seen the mask before. I know that you're hiding something. I know that this would all have all been better, wouldn't it, if they had been clear with you and told you what to do and told you even what they wanted so that you could go learn how to fix it yourself.
I have to admit, it's a bit frustrating.
Mm-hmm. I know you're supposed to be a non-biased judge, but I know if you need anything, I'm here to talk about it. It's not like we can talk together outside this. And then Troy kind of like waves his hand around to be like, the Dark Chamber doesn't exist in outside of the reality show, and we can't really talk or have a real conversation outside of here. I just thought I'd use my time appropriately while we still have it.
Well, I appreciate that, Troy. Do a glamour beat. Actually, I don't know if that applies because I don't know if you have expressed any of your brands.
Yeah, but if it doesn't, then that's okay.
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 Yeah, you only have one brand and it's not applicable.
Yep. But we still have that question, what does the pop idol beat transform this place into? It transforms this place into, instead of being just like a void with two chairs, the oak table comes back into view, flying in from off screen. It locks into place between them. A ficus snaps into the corner perfectly. Almost like Legos, all of the paneling in this room, the wooden paneling starts to come into place. And Troy takes his contract and puts it on the table and says, it's not up yet, but I know that if we both consent to it, we can change this number right here. And he points down to the number that he's getting paid for this reality show. And he says, I've been on big shows where they have a lot more money and are able to pay me more than this. And I was expecting that when I would be on Obfuscate and Rejuvenate, that it would be less than they were offering. But what I didn't expect was just to be a contestant, that this number would be half, less than half of what they were offering, to be honest. I'm going to need you to up this.
We see June kind of look around the room. Her face kind of falls and she says, oh, I didn't want to come back here. Oh no.
Jolene, but yeah.
She starts to pace.
Yeah.
Like anxiously.
Jolene. Jolene, focus.
Listen, you should have reviewed the contract when you signed it. You agreed to the amount. It was all written out. I mean, you have a lawyer. They
Troy
showed us everything was fine.
And says, that's right. No, you're right. You're right. I think and then Troy starts getting really mad and he goes right up to Jolene and says, I think I can find other people who can give me what I want. And then he storms out the door.
Where did he go? And then we just kind of cut there.
I'm trying to find out if I can cut or if somebody else needs to.
Well, we only have 10 minutes left.
No, we have 40.
I'm sorry.
40.
My brain
yeah,
is not.
We've got 40.
Yep.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I was worried for a second, but it's okay.
Okay,
Yep.
sorry.
It's all good.
No, it's good. It's good. Just keep us on our toes. It's fine.
Yeah. I keep forgetting we start on the half hour and not on the hour.
Yep.
It's confusing.
It is.
Mhm.
That's
I found the caffeine.
You found the caffeine.
Congratulations.
Hooray!
I really wanted to offer you something so Troy could have more than just one brand that would steal so many books, you biatch.
Mhm.
But well, he broke eye
I
contact though.
I did break eye contact.
Yeah,
There's nothing we can do about that.
that's fine.
I do want to. We can switch back to the scene, and we can actually edit our contracts.
If you want to go to an action shot, you're gonna you guys have to do a cut.
How do I cut this? So
Yeah, I can't cut because none of mine apply. The one that I have anything of is when they breathe life into their styles, which we were just talking about. I didn't do.
Well, I've still got if there's dead air for too long, so I guess I can do that.
That's the handy one.
Alrighty. How does time buffer, distort, or jump? So I think we get the Jolene saying, "Where did you go?" And like it immediately is gonna like smash cut to June and Ferdinand. And if you have an idea of what we're doing, Golden, please feel free to jump in. But I also can create a temporal buffer by spending 2 and copy any object over to the unreeling.
wow,
How does that work?
Let me read yours. If it wants to come up. Come
I
on.
still don't understand how I gain cuts.
You have to
You
answer
get-
the questions from chat, and you get one whenever we start a new character.
Yep.
So you should have at least one in each of yours.
Okay. So how that works, if you want to spend 2, is you go over to that unreeling page, and you can start with 1 in any of those.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
But I also have to cut something off of the board.
You hit Control Z and just see what hitting Control Z does.
I'm just gonna get rid of a line, but that's fine. It's green line anyway. No one cares.
I did it. Okay. Well,
Okay.
I think it only changes what I change, but it's fine.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
I don't know. Anyway, and then I get to pick any one of these things.
Yep.
Cool. I'll think about that here while we think about what we're
So
doing.
I think we're in front of a supercomputer, and our contracts are stored in memory, and we're trying to get them out so we can edit them ourselves. So Ferdinand is cutting all the wires off of the keyboard.
And June is standing there, like, kind of half watching what you're doing, but, like, tapping her foot and side-eyeing you and being like, "You're good at this sort of thing with your... everything you do with your billboards and whatnot, that makes you good at computers, right? You know, splice this together until we have a new contract."
That's the idea.
Well, hurry up.
I'm going to weave these wires into my coat of non-reality, and then that should allow us to bypass the ice wall and get into secure memory.
So she wraps her little shawl cape tighter around herself and is like, "Hurry up, why don't you?"
So yeah, Ferdinand is doing this cutting and weaving as quickly as is possible, and I think it starts to work, and it starts downloading the contracts. We see these 2 like papyrus scrolls like digitizing into existence.
But something else comes through as well. It's almost like it's a projection coming out of the computer. It's like almost like a hologram of a face, and it's like of a young guy. He looks kind of cool, but also kind of nerdy. He's got like thick dark glasses. I think he's got shorter hair that's like all spiked up, and I think it's like shaved on the sides, but he has like almost like computer chip type patterns like cut into his hair. We've not seen him before, but it's Didio from the stable. And he's like, "Hey guys, what you trying to do? What are you doing here in the computer
Who the
system?"
hell are you?
"Oh, y'all don't know me? Hey, I'm Didio. I'm like one of the judges here. Um, computer and hacker aficionado."
Are you going to assist us with our contracts then?
"Oh yeah, I can help you out. What do you need?"
Come to renegotiate. And Ferdinand like opens one of the contracts, and it's still encrypted, so all the words are Zalgo.
Hmm.
Can you help us break this encryption?
I mean, I can already like read it, dudes. You don't read Zalgo?
No.
I didn't take that as one of my 5 languages.
Common mistake. Rookie mistake there. Yeah, I could totally read them. So yeah. What do you want me fixed? What do you want me changed? Tell me them deets. You see him like put another set of glasses over his glasses. These ones have like yellow lenses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look at June. June, what are we out of character? What is it we're trying to change?
Everything? Nothing? It's complicated. I don't know, honestly. I know that she's not satisfied with the current state of things, but I don't know what would make it better for her.
Do you want a peanut gallery?
You know what? You don't
Nice.
even. I think during the hesitation, Didio's like reading through the contracts. He's like, "I know, just will fix it. Here, let me just make some changes. I got you. I got you." And you see him like starting to type, and the Zalgo is changing. But you still can't read what he's changing, but he's just starting to make changes.
Right, of course, of course.
Yeah, and then we'll just put this one in June's. Yeah, that'll be really good. Yeah, June, you're gonna like this. I promise. It's gonna be really good. All right.
I don't trust you at all, but all right then.
Ferdinand. Let's do this. Let's put that in there. Yeah, that's gonna be really good for the ratings. It's gonna be really good for your brand, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna be sick.
That is so cute.
What does that have to do with sick is not what
Sick means cool. June, come on, get with the times, man.
I'm
All right, I'm just gonna, and I'm gonna hit submit and commit, and I gotta also hit this button here, and then as he does that, as he hits the final button, you hear like a sound that's almost like an old style modem sound,
of course.
but mixed in with that are these subliminal radio frequencies.
Uh-oh. Why?
They compel you to do.
What do they compel me to do? I think that I need to act out against Didio. Sorry. I'm not
okay.
looking at the Didio.
He's new. It's fine.
Didio. Yeah.
Do you want to swap verbs?
What? Oh. Ooh. I kind of do, but to what?
I think you exchange verbs.
Just the two of us switch?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
Done.
All right.
Cool.
That's what the contract changed.
Well, the subliminal radio frequencies compel you also to swap your what defines you.
Oof.
Cool.
So yeah, I think June is gonna is just gonna start tearing into video.
Mm-hmm.
Are you cutting me down?
Yeah, like your style is terrible. The way you wear your hair, what it was with this um, circuit board look that's so totally last century. Um, just viciously, but psychologically cutting into him.
I think Ferdinand is giving June the side eye, but for some reason, she finds it empowering. Like, she knows that she's going to actually impress Ferdinand. And that'll make all of this critical glare worth it.
Oh, now that's a question. Thank you, Estani. What else did Didio add to the contracts? Oh, I want to know the answer to that. Whew. Yeah.
I think it's an interesting question. So yeah, I think you're cutting into him. You don't get a response. His entire hologram is glitching out as you're hearing these radio frequencies and these modem sounds, and then um you can't quite hear him, but mixed in with the modem sound and the frequencies, you hear "okay, bye," and like the whole computer thing just shorts out.
I think what Ferdinand would have wanted was to copy a way into the incinerator and survive.
Can you say that again? I didn't quite pick up what you said.
I feel like Didio would have stolen the time. I'm just going to say the time Ferdinand spent in the incinerator. So now Didio was there instead of Ferdinand. And Ferdinand wanted to do something in the dance hall of Oblivion, and now he did.
I'm going to say that this entire scene was facilitated by Ferdinand's coat of unreality. And I think it's just as equally fucked up that this computer is like a CRT monitor where it has like this dull green background and like the little lime green line that's the exact same lime green as our non-player color that we've been highlighting things with. And
what was it you called it? The Return to Night Vale computer?
Yes. Welcome to Night Vale computer.
Yes.
That takes over the elementary school that we were talking about in the Steamies chat the one day.
Oh yeah.
Because what game were you playing?
Talos Principle, maybe?
Not Talos Principle.
Then I don't know. I'll look at the dog.
It's the one by Devolver.
Oh, I can't think of it, but
yeah, I know you can see it in your mind, but you can't remember the name, and I can't either. So reflected in that, we start to see Troy, and Troy is shaking this like wavy brown hair that he has, and he is full brisk walk out of this office space, and he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do. He's going to look for another judge to talk to about the situation, and he knows that he has to. The judge that he needs to talk to hasn't been seen on the show yet. They live in Black Bluff, so they're going to. Troy is going to hop in the car that's parked right outside the door to this place. He was probably not parked legally here, but he takes this car. The tires rotate from being like um, legs to stay on the ground with to flipping inward and hovering, and he skirts over the road and out of town over the dark melted over obsidian space that Giant's Leap has become, and he's like off-roading over all this obsidian, and he's in the car. He turns on the radio to, I don't know, what kind of music does Troy listen to? Maybe like Mothwings by Passion Pit. And this, at this point, this is like a 70-year-old song. Or my math is completely wrong there. We're in 2069, so that would be like 50, 60. Yeah, 60.
Don't know the song, so.
I think it came out in 2009 or 2008 or something like that. So it's a 60-year-old song at this point, and he's off-roading over all of this obsidian. It's a little bit of a rough ride, and it goes like, it jitters back and forth because of the propulsion against the uneven ground. He's thinking to himself, and we just hear his voiceover. I need to get out of this reality show. I think I heard other people talking about they didn't even know that what was the point was, and I'm being honest, I don't know what's happening here myself. I mean, I can remember this episode, we were supposed to be doing a cooking challenge, and I've been on a show like that before, but not on the same show that I'm doing activism, protest. Haven't seen a reality show like that before. This is all a little weird, and it's too weird for me to not get paid more for this. So we see the brand of the car, and the car zooms off towards Black Bluff. I'm changing neighborhoods.
Okay. That's right, you are. So, who changed the location or time? It was Lavender.
I'm gonna be Black Bluff.
Yep. So I will close out of Galaxy Peak and mark myself as question marks.
Mm-hmm.
How many questions from chat did you answer? Did anyone talk about the temperature of the boardroom? No.
No.
Did Ferdinand express whether or not he expected consequences
from his hacking?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. So I don't think anybody, unless
I'm not seeing it either.
Unless I'm missing something. I don't think anyone answered anything from chat.
Yep. So we need to sketch something from the board.
Okay.
And steal those.
I will look for a shape. Oh, I see a shape I can fill in. All right.
And since everybody should be adding these to the character that they're going to play next, I should click mine and cast everyone. Okay. Now I have to decide what everybody is going to play. Does anybody have any preferences right off the bat?
I kind of want to play Troy.
I was going to ask someone if they wanted to play Troy, since I was having Troy going to this neighborhood. That's great.
Yeah, I think you've given him a direction, and I'll see that through unless anybody else has really wanted to jump in on that, and I'm stepping on you.
I'm fine with
Sounds
anyone.
good.
I would just prefer not to be June. I'm not really feeling her right now.
Okay, thank you for saying that, because I was about to cast you as June. Golden, you be June. And
Okay.
you can be Ferdinand Estani.
Okay, cool.
And The challenge that the judges have given you is that they are not. They're located in different places all over the map, and it's hard to get them all in one place because they're just not all in one place, and they're being like, just like Jolene and all of the other judges, they're being cagey and not responsive about what we're even supposed to do on this reality show. They seem like they just want to show up to like tell us what our immediate next challenge is, but not what the end game of this is. Like, are we going to have a merger at some point? Is there like some thing that's supposed to happen in the middle of the series that we're supposed to be doing like right now when it feels like we're in the middle of the series?
Don't mind all my little pings, chat. That has nothing to do with anything. I'm just definitely not making a new emote while we were talking right here. What?
Amazing.
Lavender, I have a question for you.
Yes. Does
Well,
anybody
actually,
have any questions about this challenge?
this is not about the challenge. This is about something you've changed
Yes.
in the game. But also, just as a general thing to everybody, in order for me to cut, you guys need to bring your player colors into your descriptions of things. So keep that in mind.
Mhm.
Because that will help me be able to use my cuts.
Yes.
And I need to answer questions from. I need to sense the general. What? Hold on. How is this phrased? Nope. I need to be the channel. When you sense the broad intent of chat, spend one and answer a question from chat. Seems to be what we need to do.
Mm-hmm. Or no, I think how that works is you're supposed to ask chat a question. If you spend 2.
If I spend 2, I ask chat a question. If I spend 1, it says answer. Oh, I answered this question before we cut back to the shot. What image or found footage flashes on screen? Okay.
Okay.
But anyway, my question for you, Lavender, was to make assembling the puzzle in the season finale easier, you may spend 2 instead to color code the filled in shapes. What does that mean?
Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's about time that we start talking about what the season finale is going to look like.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Yep. During the season finale, we do a different phase of the game where, because in the season finale we have this huge aspect ratio box, it's going to get all the way filled in, and then the season finale is going to happen. What we do in the season finale is we have a limited number of. I'm going to move the entire, like all of the pieces, all of these little filled in like shards that we have, onto a different page. And I'm going to scramble them all up so that it's like a puzzle. We have a limited number of moves that we can do, and we have to narrate something when we move a puzzle piece. So Astani has a power where she can, instead of all these pieces being green together, she can try to color code some of them so that it's easier to know which puzzle pieces are next to each other. So you could do something like, this circle in the middle is in the middle of this huge box, and I want to remember that for later. So I'm going to make this circle red and this circle like purple red so that I can remember that they're supposed to be next to each other. And it's just like a reminder sort of thing. So that
it just helps us fit them together, basically.
Yep.
Okay. Alrighty.
If we color code the circles, how do we know whose the circle belonged to?
It still won't belong to anyone.
Because it's green,
Okay.
so it's like a non-player color. So I just will continue to color code it a non-player color.
Yep. So like nobody's purple. I should be, but I'm not.
I mean, I am, but a different shade.
Yep.
So it doesn't
We were talking
matter
like
how
purple.
it was originally colored.
Right.
You're just marking it to mean something to yourself personally.
Kind of.
Kind of.
It's like a reminder on what fits where. So when we do the season finale, we can figure out how to put the puzzle back together, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm still not quite sure what that
I'm sure we'll figure it out when
look
we
like
play
or
it.
means, but okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
you know that
just
meme where the guy is blinking? Like,
I just assume that we're basically all these shapes that we've made are going to be scrambled up, and we have to try to reassemble them how they are right now,
Right.
which is going to be very hard.
Mm-hmm.
So I will try to make that easier by color coding them. We'll
Yes.
see how that works.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but as far as the scene that's taking place, where specifically are we? Would be my question.
We're in Black Bluff, as I said before, but I think we're in. I want to be in a place that's covered in the obsidian and carved into it. I want to say that this is, what's that fucking place in Stardew Valley that you go to a community center? This is a community center.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put a couple of judges here. Actually, we would have to make this scene pretty short because at this point we do have like 12 minutes left. How are we feeling?
Let's all pick the same thing. Let's conspire to pick the same thing. We'll all be in the same shot, and then we can do that. I was feeling a confessional or an action shot. What are you guys feeling?
I'm down with either one of those, honestly.
I'm fine with either one, but I definitely know what I want to do for the action shot if we do that.
If you've got a solid idea, let's do action shot then.
Okay.
I don't know like how you all fit into it though.
We'll figure it out.
Right.
What I'm looking at right now is which judges and clients I want to put forward to deliver this challenge, because I want this final one shot to be about you being with the judges and figuring out what's going on. That's what I want to see.
Okay.
So I'm going to put like, not all the judges are going to be here, but like 2 to 3 of them.
Who's who again?
We have Martinique, who's a professional public speaker and doesn't know why she's here. So I feel like she has a vested interest. I'm going to put Arwen here and General Carter, who were talking before in the dark red tent about a conspiracy against the O's. Yeah, I'm going to put those 3 together. It's General Carter, it's Arwen, and it's Martinique. And they're in this community center to get a few of the stars in the same place so that we can start getting things sorted.
What I meant was, what character is...
You are...
I am
muted.
Troy. Estanie was Ferdinand?
Yes.
Yes.
That would make Golden June.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
That's what I was missing. Thank you.
I like how you're still listed as Troy Lavender on the Roll20.
I liked it when you were listed as X as the little X face. That was cute.
Yeah.
Anyway, everybody's fixed. Good deal.
Now I'm fixed on the Roll20 too.
Yay.
Okay. Let me know when you're all on your sheets so that I can count to 3.
We'll all quick action shot.
1, 2, 3.
Or someone doesn't click action shot and active betrayal.
That's a thing you could do. Not here though.
I mean, we could have, but we didn't.
Yes. Okay. I'm handing it off to you.
All right. So
all 3 of you.
June is in like there's this large room where people can take their dogs and give them a haircut, and that's what June is doing to her dog. She's got like these scissors and the shaver, and she's just like trimming down. Like the dog had this long, like thick fur, and as she's cutting down the dog seems to be getting younger. and more energetic. And when she's done, like her dog is like almost like a little puppy and is licking her face. And all right, you know what to do. Go find it. And the dog's like, yep, and runs away. And then June has the scissors and the shaver. She's like, okay, who's next?
I definitely am not getting paid enough for this, you know? Like, whoa.
Ferdinand steps up. He kind of looks at June out of the corner of his eye. And then he sits down where the puppy was.
All right. All right, how do you want your hair?
Okay, so just take a little bit off of the back. I don't want to get too young. I want to still be, a knowledgeable, sexy bastard, but, just take a little bit of the crow's feet off, maybe a little bit of the seg here. Leave a little bit of silver here. The ladies like it. I think it looks distinguished.
Just what to do. And so June takes the hair cutters and she straightens out the hair, makes Ferdinand look like less like somebody who's spent too much time on the streets and more like Ferdinand has.
Still don't look as
Comes
good
from
as
like
me,
a place
brah.
of more wealth. Like the silver fringe probably turns into like a silver lock, and also she gives him a clean shave, so there's not any 9 o'clock shadow left. It's like he's got a baby face. But and the feeling is that Ferdinand feels like he's at his prime.
Would you say rejuvenated?
Oh yes.
Okay. I'm feeling good. Let us find these judges and talk about this contract situation.
Right? Look, brah, like, we gotta get this shit taken care of, y'all.
Yeah, there's some weird fucked up shit happening here and I'm not about it.
And like Troy like claps Ferdinand on the shoulder and is like, yeah, man. Yeah, totally. You know what's up, man. And you, June, you got something going on. I think that's real good ammunition, you know. You're gonna see these judge people and
Worst case, we turn them into tiny baby.
Martinique comes in. She's incredibly tall and has a shaved head, but also is not a 2-year-old child.
You found my one weakness.
I know, Ferdinand like looks at he's just like
Like, where's the logic? And then she comes in and says, General Carter and Arwen, I just saw them out there. They're coming in a second. There they
General
are.
Carter's bald too.
We're tired of the bullshit.
you're tired of the bullshit. We're tired of the bullshit.
Now, don't start arguing now. As soon as we argue, we're going to run out of time. We have maybe 4 more minutes to talk about this. So let's start talking about what you want.
More money, more compensation.
not for all the weird bullshit to be happening.
Thank you.
I just want to win and have it be over with.
Well, let's work together and do what any reality show does. When you win, you get more money. I don't think I have any power.
Can
General
you tell
Carter.
us how to win then? Because it seems like it's fucking impossible. I've been
Yeah,
on
let's
a lot
just
of
cut
shows.
through
and
all the
At
bullshit.
least I know what I was doing.
I
now.
can't even tell if
Like-
anyone has won challenge yet.
Not even a single one. Like,
They always cut away before they give the verdict.
And then I'm in some other place or in dark, spooky room where the walls are talking to me. I don't know.
But we're getting points for the
Like, man,
unreeling,
I
whatever
don't-
that is.
Like, I don't even, like, remember shit like brushing my teeth, man. Like, usually that's on
We went to
camera and
dance hall.
shit.
It was not reality. I don't understand.
Oh, man, that place was dope, though. You gotta, like,
I mean, it was very cool, but also very weird.
like, super dope. Actually, when am I
Okay,
going back
maybe keep dance hall. Okay, that's fine.
there? Okay.
But you know, it was like that even before we were on the show. We just never thought about it.
Also, I lost one of my good calligraphy pens, but it seems like we have 2 minutes left. How do we? Who has the money? I don't have the money.
Are you not getting paid? You. What about contract? Like, Troy says he get paid for being here, and I was supposed to get exposure, and that is not happening.
I don't even
If you
know
had a
what they
brush,
put-
could you fix it? Did you paint a picture of what's going on?
We don't have time for that. Who? I think we need to find out who has the money. And I've been compensated. And General Carter and Martinique have told me that they've been compensated too. But we need like $1 million something. I'm making
I think you need to move this up the chain. Who is above you?
I don't know.
We need to get in touch with them. So that is what
dude,
you need
how
to
do you
find
not
out.
know? Like, how do you even not know? I don't know how you don't know.
It does seem weird.
General Carter's like, I feel like isn't Jolene up the chain? And then Arwen's like, and Martinique too, they're both saying, you don't actually know that. She's not.
I mean, she wasn't even
supervisor
part
of
of the show until episode 1.
I'm sure that had nothing to do with it.
Look, the three of us are going to talk to Jolene and the other judges, and I feel like our time here might almost be up.
Just move it up the chain. I want to speak to your manager, Side Eye.
And that, I think, is the end where we're going to cut.
Yep.
Yes, Ferdinand saying, I want to speak to your manager and utilizing his new side eye. I love it.
It had to happen.
I wanted to make a calligraphy brush out of the cut hair, so I do.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
that would be good.
All right.
Notes.
Now we do some shout outs and then we'll do an unreeling off the air that will then go up later.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So let's go around starting with Golden. Who are you? What do you do on the internet?
Hey, I'm Golden. Still not doing much.
Fair.
So, yeah.
Perfect. Estani, who are you? What have you done on the internet? You do more things than nothing.
I do more things than nothing. Yeah, that is true. Hiya, I am Estani. When I'm not here, I'm over on my own Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Estani, where I play a variety of things. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow because we're going to be playing Disco Elysium, and I'm very excited. I bought that a couple of days ago, and I've installed it right away, and I've just been sitting on it going, no, you can't play it. Wait till the stream. But we're gonna be doing that special for tomorrow because it's New Year's Eve. So.
I received it for Christmas and I installed it right away, and then haven't actually had any time to play it. I wasn't even holding off on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I have been busy, but also I've been like, man, I could just like start. No, I definitely had a point where I was like, I could do a bonus stream over the weekend maybe if I have time because I wanted to play it that bad. But no, we're gonna play tomorrow.
Okay.
And
I don't know. Like, I feel like streaming has led me to play less games because whenever I want to play a game, I'm like, no, I gotta wait till I'm on stream.
Right.
I feel that for sure. Like
So now I have like used to be every game I bought I played immediately, and now like I have dozens of games I've never even started.
I will say streaming is making me buy more games than I usually would.
Mm.
Because one, I have money to do so, and two, it's like, okay, it's not just it's a fun thing for me. No, it's an investment in the stream. So
Yeah.
it's like a justification to getting games that I want to play.
Mhm.
So also I do art stuff. So if you want to check out my art, I have a Patreon for that, patreon.com/Astani, or I have a store, redbubble.com/people/Astani if you want to buy any of my art. That's me.
You should buy her art, and then you could have a bomb ass
Cell phone case.
cell phone case.
I bought my mom that for Christmas last year as well.
Nice.
She loves it.
Awesome. All right, Lavender, this is your game. You're responsible for this mess.
I know.
Tell people about yourself.
Hi, I'm Dr. Lavender Void. I thought I was getting sick today very early in the morning. I woke up and I was like, I am definitely sick. And then I was like, no. Now I don't know if I'm sick or not, even though everyone in my house definitely is. I'm like, I must be sick, right? Maybe? If you want to fund this game, you can go to patreon.com/darklavendervoid, and soon we'll be able to put it up on itch and then fund it that way as well. What else was I going to say? I was going to say that Golden, no, you don't do nothing, because I just watched you stream The Long Dart, and that's what I fell asleep to last night. And then I got horribly sick. I don't think those two things are related, though.
I would hope
But
not.
I mean, if you got hypothermia, that would explain a lot. But
No.
yeah, I don't have time to stream much, and
Yep.
That stream kind of proved that I actually can't stream right now.
Yeah.
Got a lot of health problems.
Yep.
So I need to change a lot of things in my life right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to talk about that on stream.
Cool.
Fair. This is my stream. Hello, I'm Kelsa. I play role-playing games on the internet. In addition to this game, over on Party Wipe Games channel on Thursdays, I am the space mistress for a game of Scum and Villainy called Packet Loss. That game is a lot of fun. I really love it. I just drew some fan art for it. That is how much I love it. And on Sundays, I am over on Outro's channel. We are playing a system called Mothership. The game is called Bag of Bones, and it's some space horror stuff going on. We just made it to an encampment, and there was some scary fire stuff and tentacles, and well, it was a bloody mess.
Yep.
Quite literally. Anyway. That is me. That's where you can find me on Twitter at Kelsa, Twitch and YouTube. It's Kelsa Delphi. And this is my channel. And I hope you had a good time. Thanks for coming out. Have a good night. And check out YouTube for The Unreeling when I get to it.